Nation fam, what's good? What's good? So, it is combine time. Defensive line, interior, outside, linebackers, I believe safeties, maybe. I don't know. Tomorrow, of course, we get to see all the hype and talk that's been going on for the last couple months. But the biggest news is with all that going on, our new general manager, Tom Brady, is skiing in Montana. So there's been reports, I know everybody's heard, that Tom Brady, yes, Tom Brady, our new general, or not general manager, our new minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, who everybody thinks is so involved in the draft process, the quarterback process. Well, maybe he is involved in the quarterback process because he has been seen somewhere in Montana with none other than Matthew Stafford. So, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, reports were that Tom Brady has had Matthew Stafford at his house in Montana. I don't know, did he or no did he? Y'all let me know. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But, however, that's the story originally. Then there's another story saying that they just met up in the middle of Montana. Both decided to go skiing. So, I mean, we don't know the story. Shout out to everybody in the building. I should probably turn on my chat so I can see it. Ray Love, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you pulling up. So yeah, nobody knows the story. Always just hearsay and smoke. But where there's smoke, there's fire. And man, the talk about Matthew Stafford yesterday in the meetings between the general manager and none other than our head coach, Pete Carroll, kind of just blew it off. And we're like, oh, he's on another team. We don't want nothing to do with it. And then the next day comes out that Tom Brady and Matthew Stafford are seen in Montana at a ski resort skiing. So I don't know. Wild, crazy stuff. Let me know what y'all think. I guess what Ray Love thinks. I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. Like, are these guys friends? The whole fact that the story, the other story, but then there's also another part of the story. Is Tom Brady's agent comes out and says it was a coincidence. They just happened to meet up at the same resort. So, I mean, wild shit. I don't know how y'all feel, but to me, just more crazy drama. And the main issue I had with Tom Brady coming to the Raiders is the Raiders have such a big problem with the NFL, with the referees, as the fans say. And, Tom Brady is like the face of the NFL still, even though he's not playing. I mean, he's got a crazy contract. He does, all the Fox games. He did the Super Bowl. Not too many announcers get to do Super Bowls. So, Tom Brady's still in the limelight. He's got obviously paparazzi following the man around, you know, all the way to Montana. And I find it crazy that Tom Brady is literally, you know, going up, going mountaintops to try to bring in Matthew Stafford, or so they say. I think the dog was about to go nuts. Yeah, there we go. So, man, I don't know. I don't want to, speculate. I have no idea. It just seems kind of weird that the first story that he invited him to go skiing at his house in Montana just seemed crazy to me. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, "What? East Coast Gridiron? What's good? What's good? Appreciate you." Um, So coming up, in the combine, the most stacked part of the combine, a lot of people say is defensive line. So, we get to see what Walter Nolan, if they're what he's gonna do. Um, I think he goes pretty high in the first round. Some people say, second round. Um, I just want to see running backs. East Coast Gridiron. What's good? What's good? If y'all don't know, he has a channel. Go follow him. Does damn good breakdowns on a lot of players, a lot of teams. Um, damn, where'd my notes go? Uh, Arkansas Razorbacks are in the middle of a game, basketball, and they are the last seed on the bubble right now. So I don't know. It's very, very close against Texas. Walter Nolan isn't participating outside of interviews. Damn it. Thinking, man, why do they even have a combine anymore? Like, it seems like nobody wants to show up to the combine. Shador's not going to throw. There's people got their panties in a bunch over that. I feel like if you get an invite to the combine and you don't show up, I mean, I don't know. There should be some kind of regulations or stipulations or something. Like if you get an invite, I mean, I don't know what they could do. Fine them, I guess, maybe when they get to the NFL or something. But it's crazy, bro. It's just wild that, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Especially when I could see when you're like the top, when you're a lock, when you're pretty much, grandfathered in or Tomlined in, as they want to say when it comes to coaches. If you're a lock for that guy, then I don't see it. But if you're a competitor, which everybody should be a competitor, right? You're trying to make it to the NFL, so everybody should have that competitiveness in them. But if you claim to be number one in your position and the most competitive and love ball more than anybody else, that's your opportunity to go out and prove it. I mean, the only way you're getting hurt is, I guess, running backs, D line drills, cutting and stuff like that, running drills, but throwing, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It makes no sense to be invited and then not show up, especially when people wait like all year. Um, all year to see what these guys have. You want to see their high jump, their long jump, their 40 times, pretty much everything, anything they do. I watched, the combine sometimes 3 or 4 times after it's over. Just go back and watching it again, just trying to watch stuff I missed. So I don't know. It's wild to me. East Coast talked about that on your show tonight. If you decline participation, here, let me put this up. It's kind of rude. If you decline participation, it should be a 5-day window. Damn it. Somebody had to type in. It should be a 5-day window so they can invite other guys. I agree. I agree 100%, and I think it should be the same way at the Senior Bowl. If you get the invite, you should just tell them right away. Look, I'm not interested. I'm not going, and pick somebody else because you're wasting that spot. That's a damn good point, East Coast. That you're taking that spot away from somebody else, and somebody else, could go out there that could be not ranked on somebody's board. Obviously, if you're not invited to the combine, you're probably not ranked highly, highly on anybody's board. So, I mean, to me, yeah, you're taking a spot for somebody that could probably, maybe have a chance to go out there and impress some people with their athleticism or their arm talent or even their interviews. So, uh, it starts tomorrow. Yes, yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait. But if all the big guys, oh, someone's take them on. If all the big guys don't perform or pause if necessary, don't come and try to, show out. They're just there for the interview process and the medical part of it. Then it kind of takes away from it a little bit, and just in my opinion. Uh, East Coast Gridiron says Senior Bowl, they didn't allow you to sit out if you have to participate. At the Shrine Bowl, they allow you to just interview. Yeah, see, it shouldn't be one way or another, especially the Senior Bowl. I mean, you would think it would be the other way around, in my opinion. The Shrine Bowl, you would think it would be mandatory because it's not as big as the Senior Bowl. I mean, to me. So I would think that it would be more mandatory to, to have to show up to the Shrine Bowl. The Senior Bowl, I don't know. Arnie, my guy Gaza, appreciate you pulling up. Says, who in this draft is a generational talent? One, two, or more? I think we've talked about this a couple times. You know, 16 tackles, first time at the position, coming from an outside linebacker to, to an end, um, dominated with one arm pretty much. Most of the playoffs are the last two games of the playoffs, and you know made NFL caliber, supposedly starting tackles and guards just and running backs just look awful. So Abdul Carter, I mean, to me, number one, if you go out there and dominate with one hand in the championship game, I mean, to me, you have to be talked about in that. Um, East Coast says James Pierce Jr. and Harold Fannin Jr. are the only two generational talents. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea who Harold Fannin is, but I'm gonna have to put it on my phone real quick because I don't have a pen and paper with me. But I will check that out. The hell was his name? Oh, Harold. Harold. Sweet. Yeah, I'll go check that out. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I know that dude, but James Pierce Jr. I like a lot. And I don't know why they had him very highly ranked on a lot of boards, on the early mock drafts, and now all of a sudden he's starting to slip down. Some people are talking crazy talk about him going even farther. I don't know about generational talent. Maybe I haven't watched enough film, but the little bit that I watched of the highlights and the games, I don't even know what game I watched. What game was it? Shit, I don't know. I watched only one game, but so y'all go check out those guys if you haven't already. East Coast Gridiron laying down the nuggets for y'all. Appreciate it. And I think you know, I don't know. A lot of people say Ashton Genty. I believe he has generational traits. I don't know if he's completely. The more I watch, a generational talent. I'm not gonna, say comps. He's been comped a million times to Maurice Jones-Drew and everybody else you could think of that, that small little uh, big build statue that he has. So to me, I think he has a lot of elite traits like his balance, his low center of gravity, which I mean, I heard something yesterday that somebody said he was like 5'6", and they want to know, they want to see what the measurements are in the combine. That's crazy. I haven't seen him next to anybody, except for maybe the pictures at the that they took at the Heisman. But East Coast Gridiron, you should know more than anybody. How tall is Ashton Genty really? Because 5'6" is crazy, bro. Like if that dude is, like, I don't know if they were just talking out both sides of their neck, but to me that sounded wild. And I mean, Travis Hunter, you gotta put in there because you don't get too many players in the out of college that can play that many snaps on both sides of the ball. Will he be able to do it in the NFL? I think durability wise, probably not. I think he can if they let him. I think they should at least let him try if he wants to, not right off the bat. I think seems like corner is probably his best spot to me. But a lot of people say it's, 50-50. So a lot of people have him as number one receiver and number one corner. East Coast Gridiron. Who do you have as number one corner and number one receiver in this year's draft? Um, if we trade Stafford, getting Genty at 6 is okay. McMillan, I'm still not a McMillan fan. I keep watching. I've seen every highlight they put out there, and it's just something about the dude. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just see so many other receivers with the same height, thicker builds, probably not as good as hands. They don't pluck the ball out of the air or catch everything away from their body. Well, a couple of them, but so Arnie Garza says Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, and Genty are the only three. I don't know. I'm starting to lean more away from the talent. Seems a lot more even. The talks at the beginning of the year and all year long where there's only two quarterbacks in this draft: Cam Ward, Shador Sanders. And I said at the beginning of the year, bull. I thought Jackson Dart was in that talk. I didn't think Will Howard was going to be in that talk, or the player that he turned out. I thought he was a damn good player, but some are saying second, third round for Will Howard. But I thought Dart last year, just because he's in the SEC. I'm an Arkansas Razorbacks fan. You know, Woo Pig Sooie. So I've seen a lot of Dart. The fact that Lane Kiffin was his coach, I just see a lot of mobility, toughness, and a, a whole lot of Josh Allen to me, and in him, just his ability to he's not the fastest, he's not the twitchiest, but somehow he just eludes guys. If it's not running guys over, he still finds a way to break tackles or get away from guys. So yeah, but it was the only talk was Shador Sanders and Cam Ward, and I said all season long, just wait till the season is over, wait till the combine comes around, watch guys move up the board. And I still like Riley Leonard. I don't know what it is about that dude, but I think he's underrated on his arm talent. And I hope he has a damn good combine and comes out and shows he can throw the deep ball with accuracy, and hopefully bump his stock up a little bit. Um, he's tight from Bowling Green. Yeah, I got him on my phone. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna watch some highlights definitely as soon as I get off here. He was ridiculous. He interviewed him in the Senior Bowl. He was talked about all season. Is that on your channel? The interview with the Senior Bowl? Bowling Green. I didn't see that game. Um, I did an in-depth breakdown on him. If you want to know more, yeah, I will definitely go check it out. Absolutely, folks. Show James Pierce is that okay? 5'8" is Genty's height. I mean, I'm not mad at that. In the NFL, I think the smaller running backs, in my opinion, are better. Definitely, running in the A gap or the B gap, because the defensive linemen are getting so big now. These guys are like 6'5", 6'7". Like it seems like every year defensive linemen get 2 inches taller up front. So if you can get underneath these big guys that you know can't bend or get down to get you with your speed, like I don't mind that size Ashton Genty is 5'9". Last time I read about him. Yeah, I don't know if McShay was just being crazy or what, but he said the dude was like 5'6". Um, Shavon Rebel Jr., Eastern Carolina. Yes, no, that is a dude I do know about. I do know. How do you think he fits in a Pete Carroll system? Do you think he's more? Do you think he's more, a zone guy? Can he play both? Can he press? I watched some film, but I just want to know your opinion. What do you think? On Siobhan Revel, because I think that would be. I mean, the Raiders still need a corner. I know they have some young kids. Did all right. I thought Decamarion Richardson, for being put out there on the island. I guess not on the island. They play, a lot of zone cover two, but I, I don't know. I think they still need a lockdown corner, and if they could get one in this draft, they took a chance on Jacorian Bennett in the fourth, I believe, 2 years ago, being that guy. And I think he came a long way last year, but I still feel we need one more. I wouldn't be mad, but I'm sure he's going in the first. I've been saying all for the last couple months, especially since we got Pete Carroll. I just have a feeling we're trading back. I don't see us picking at six. I don't know what Spytek's MO is, but Pete Carroll likes to trade back or trade those first round picks away. I wouldn't be mad at either one. Number one corner right now, McMillan is number one receiver. I like Savion Williams, TCU. You know, they had what is it, John Beck, I believe, over there on the other side. I believe on the same team. So he didn't, and he had I think a little bit of injuries, so he didn't get as many reps as he probably should have, or as many balls thrown his way. But damn, man, at 6'5", 200 and whatever he is, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, the Raiders could use a receiver like that. It's been a long time since we've had a big, tall, fast, strong, physical guy that could high point. You know, he, he could run the RPO if you want to put him quarterback style. You could put him at running back. The man could play all over the field. So to me, I don't think he's, you know, we'll see at the combine if he moves up and if he's, but damn, I would take that kid at six probably because, I mean, his upside to me, I think is just crazy. I predicted Will Howard on a video before the season started that he would transfer to Ohio State and win the Natty. Hell yeah, nice. Shout out to East Coast. I'll leave that up. Yep, all the interview and 22 videos on here are on my channel. Cool, yeah, man. I will definitely go check that out for sure. Um, Milrow is built for the combine. Best arm, best athletic ability. Uh, damn it, where'd it go? Shit. Best athletic ability for a quarterback, even Cam or Shador, were if they were participating. Got you. He will go first round just on talent. I don't. Jalen Milrow, like Alabama quarterback number 4, Jalen Milrow. I don't see him going first round. I mean, I don't know. I take that back. I take that back. I can see him going first round because teams draft bad in the NFL. It's proven. It's proven every year, over and over and over and over again. I mean, we're one of them. I mean, Tyree Wilson. Alex Leatherwood, Damon Arnett. Jesus, I'll stop there because it makes me want to throw up in my mouth when I think about it. But damn, holy shit, how many people are chats I miss? All right, let me start this. Hold up. But yeah, man, Melrose. Tony Chef, what's good? Billy D, appreciate you pulling up. You know, I like Milrose's athleticism. I think he's a damn good running back. I think his intelligence, the kid's already got his master's. Um, I thought he was going to stay in school. I really wanted to see him stay in school one more year. He only had 2 years himself being a starter. The rest of the time, he was, behind Bryce Young, I do believe. I wanted to see him stay in school. He had a down year. Um, they lost to teams they should not have lost to, in my opinion. And when your quarterback starts to come one dimensional, and the best part of his game is running, it's not hard for teams to stop him. So development wise, I think Jalen Milroe. I mean, if you're gonna have him sit for a year, maybe two, it depends on. Like I said, he's very intelligent, and but he had one of the best coaches for what? How long was he in Alabama? Was it 3 years? 4 years? 4 years? I don't know. I don't remember. But he had his time behind Nick Saban, one of the best coaches of all time over there in Alabama. So I mean, if he can't develop them and get them right, how long is it going to take in the NFL? What kind of quarterback coach and what kind of coach is it going to take? Maybe he's one of those guys that needs to be talked to nicely and can't be yelled at, or I don't know. I'm just speculating, but to me, I wouldn't even take him in the second. I would probably third or fourth project for me. Maybe on talent alone, you can say, yeah, we can fix it. Arm strength, third round, but really third, late third, fourth to me. I'm not taking him in the first. I just don't see him. I'm for the Raiders' point of view. I'd take Will Howard over Jalen Milroe in a heartbeat. Now, if we didn't have Chip Kelly, I might think about it a little more. But the fact that we have Chip Kelly, yes, definitely. I wasn't that far behind. Shavion is the best all around corner. Working on a complete breakdown of him as we speak. He's disgusting. Yeah, man. The kid is nasty. Definitely nasty. Salute to you, Tony Chef in the building. I was watching tape on Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant. His running mate looks faster, stronger, and more explosive. Yeah, I said that last night on the live, Arnie. I thought, all the talk about Mason Graham being another, one of those generational talents. I think some of the generational talents are, hidden gems in my opinion in this draft. Like some of these some of these running backs that can catch, run, pass block, I think some of those guys might be some, hidden gems later on in their career. People are going to be like, "Man, why did this guy fall this far?" So, but as far as Mason Graham, I wouldn't be mad at either one of them. We heard Spytech talk about it doesn't matter if you have three guys at the position. If there's a guy that's a generational talent or, close to on the board, they're going to take him. It doesn't matter, if they sign Malcolm Coons and Caleb Von Chasen and they have three, solid defensive ends. If there's a guy that falls to him, that he said they're not afraid to pull the trigger and let that guy sit and develop. So I really like that aspect of it, and that makes me think that if Mason Graham's there at 6, they probably could pull the trigger on him. But however, like I said, man, I just have this gut feeling that they're if their guy is not there at 6, that they're probably gonna trade back. Um, but Kenneth Grant, yeah, Kenneth Grant's pretty explosive. He looks like one of those guys in the combine that's gonna, put up 50 reps, 50 of the, 225 reps. I don't know, but that dude just looks like he's got superhuman strength when you see him just move guys out of his way. Tackles, centers, guards. I mean, not tackles, but guards, centers. And I don't know where he's projected to go, if he's going to fall or what, but East Coast said Savion is overhyped, injured always, and had like 12% career drop percentage. No thanks. I mean, yeah, yeah. A lot of people are comparing him to like a Cordell Stewart type, you know, but I don't know. I like I said, I didn't watch too much film. Yeah, just the highlights. The highlights look good. It looks to me like he catches the ball in front of him. He doesn't let it get to his body. Um, he's good at high pointing the ball. It looks like he has strong hands, especially for his build, his size, his speed. I mean, I don't know. Numbers aren't always everything. Sometimes it's damn good corners knocking the ball away or bad passes by the quarterback. There's a lot of reasons you can hit drop balls. So not defending the guy, but I mean, from what I've seen, I really like him. Savion Williams has a lot of talent, fast, but had a ball dropping problem. I know I've seen that's the thing on him, but he's going in there with one of the best coaches there is, Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly. Um, Ernie, what film did you watch? Because we broke both of them down. Kenneth was the beast in the fourth quarter. I'm about to go check those out. Post show, post show. Remember Richardson 2 years ago? Yeah, it's. I mean, the same thing. Anthony Richardson. You know, 2 years ago, everybody talked about, oh, he's not a first round talent. He might go, second or third round. I get you. I get you. If you're talking about the Milrow thing, but I don't know. I don't know. From what I've seen, throwing over the middle scares me. Um, it's like his vision scares me. He only sees the guy covering. If it's in a any kind of zone scheme, he just I don't know. And he very well could be. I'm not saying Milrow's not going to be a starter in the NFL, but there have been many, many quarterbacks that have turned out to be bust that were way better than Jalen Milrow in college. Percentage wise, touchdown to interception ratio, a lot of that. Jalen Higgins, Iowa State, is a better route runner, physical playmaker. Yeah, both of the Iowa State guys are. The hell's what's the other guy? Damn it! I wish I would have had my notes. Um, yeah, but both of those receivers at Iowa State are are just nasty work. There's some sleepers in here. Like I did, I broke down on my live like a week or two ago who I thought my top 10 receivers were. And I watched a lot of receivers to come up with the top 10, and I don't know. I think sometimes they overhype the combine, and sometimes they underhype the combine. Or the draft. They're like, oh, this draft class is great. There's 35, 40 running backs in this draft class. that could be drafted, not even UDFA's, drafted in the first 7 rounds. The defensive, interior line. And then you have people saying, offensive line's not deep, receiver class is not deep, quarterback class is not deep. I mean, quarterback class I can agree with. There's probably not, a lot. There's gonna be some sleepers in that class too. There's sleepers in every class. Like the offensive lineman, there's we heard Spytek talking about how he likes to take, you know, star big name tackles from smaller schools and move them inside on the interior, move them to guard, move them to center. So some of these offensive linemen might be taken way higher than we think. Kind of like DJ Glaze last year. I remember even East Coast Gridiron. I do remember East Coast was like, bro, DJ Glaze was a reach. I was arguing with him in somebody's chat. I don't know, Graphic Raider, I think, Dox's chat. We were messaging back and forth, and he's like, "Man, that's a reach. That's a reach." I was like, "I don't think DJ Glaze is a reach. He has good athleticism. He's strong. You know, decent footwork." And then the man comes in and starts almost all year at right tackle and does pretty damn good. So there's a lot of guys you're gonna get like that. JPJ fell to us in the second round, which was absolutely crazy. I couldn't believe, with all the people talking about how he was the best center and guard, either position you wanted to put him at in this draft. And he goes to the second round. I know he had some injury history, and then it scared the hell out of me and probably the rest of the nation at the beginning of the year when he wasn't ready in preseason, wasn't ready in what, week 2, 3, 4. When did he start? 3, 4. Um, Hold on, I'll get to that in a minute. Nick, yeah, safety. Manwari. I don't know how you say that. What do you think about him? Measurables are amazing. I'd be lying if I told you I watched a bunch of tape. So I will write that down. Also, actually, I don't have to write it down. I'll remember that shit because that name is very damn hard to say, bro. Got too many M and N's in it. But yeah, I'll go check them out. I don't think I got the safeties or corners or linebackers. Man, I still have a long way to go. But I've been trying to wait till the combine so I could break down that film. Watch what I can over and over and over again. Come on, Razorbacks. Damn, up by 5. 3 minutes to go. Um, Sorry, I get distracted. So yeah, I will check it out. Safety wise, like I said, I haven't watched too many. I've watched some highlights on, the guys they have on their top 25 big board. Different guys have on their big board. From what I've seen, I mean, Malik Starks, isn't that safety, right? Georgia. That's about the only dude I'd go crazy and move back up in the first round if he's there. I don't know where he's projected to go. I'm sure like top 10 or something crazy. I mean, we do know how this coaching staff and Pete Carroll does like those safeties, but we also have uh Al Mal that we just re-signed. It didn't seem too much in the interviews I've seen today about Trayvon, but they do keep saying that they want to bring, in-house guys back. But we heard that a lot last year from, Coupon Tom. And Tom Telesco, that was his number one thing he kept saying. We want to keep guys in-house, bring guys back. And then you let the heartbeat of the offense just walk out of the building. So Hopefully, it's none of that. But we've already seen them say that they didn't want nothing to do with Matthew Stafford, and now supposedly Tom Brady's skiing with the dude. So crazy shit. Um, yeah, I don't know. I have to check it out. Rebel, who is your dark horse? Are you a rookie forward? What? Oh, my dark horse. Who I'm looking to forward to see at the combine. To be honest with you, man, I love this shit, bro. So all of them, like anybody that I think that could come to the Raiders and help this team right away, or maybe later on in the year. I'm not waiting for next year. I want to go get all the guys that we possibly can on this roster that we think have a chance to start, whether it's trading up. I mean, we have 10 picks. We have six, not six, three sixth-round picks, two third-round picks. I'd be willing to get rid of some of those and make it, four picks or five picks in the top 3 rounds if possible. But I don't know. I want to shit, bro. Like I want to see all of them, all of them, all of them. I'm gonna be like before the sun comes up, wide awake tomorrow. I'm gonna do my thing, and all day I'm gonna be like, damn, when's the combine? When's the combine? So yeah, I'm gonna be all in. Probably the last day. Probably the last day because I know what a lot of these guys have. I've watched tape on a lot of them. I haven't watched too much tape on the offensive line. All are the guards. I think I got to shit, maybe 12 of them, 15 so far, and there's a lot, bro. There's still a lot. So I definitely want to see that. That is one of our weakest positions. Is guard. We need guards. We could probably use a tackle. We don't know what. I'm sure Colton Miller, hopefully, hopefully, can do his job for the next 2 years. He's on contract, and we don't have to go get one. I haven't heard anybody talk about Dylan Parham. They talked about the offensive line today and yesterday in the interviews. They talked pretty big on DJ Glaze. Not much. They just said he did damn good for coming in as a rookie, not being that number one guy, in camp or in preseason or any of that. He didn't even get as much snaps as I thought he would get in preseason. And then they talked about, of course, JPJ. So I didn't hear him say anything about Jordan Meredith. Um, they mentioned Dylan Parham, and that was it. Those three guys. So, you know, sometimes words can be telling or they could be misleading. So I'm not trying to buy into it. Also, something that was, could be very telling or very misleading is they talked about Malcolm Kuntz. If you didn't see the interview, I don't know, NBC, CBS, shit, I don't know who the interview was with today with Pete Carroll, but he talked about, what the hell? What was I going to say? Some, but yeah, Pete Carroll talked about basically the offensive line, guys in the draft. It didn't talk. That was pretty much all he talked about was three guys, and then he talked about Malcolm Kuntz, Adam Butler. No, actually, he didn't say nothing about him. He said Malcolm Kuntz and Christian Wilkins. He's very very anxious to see what Max Crosby can do. So he acted like Max Crosby was coming back, and he acted like Malcolm Kuntz was coming back. He said he's very anxious to see what Malcolm Kuntz can do with Christian Wilkins, and Malcolm Kuntz. So to me, that was very telling. Maybe he's just, saying he's anxious to see those three guys work together. But when you say it like he said it, to me, it sounds like, um, to me, it sounds like that's one of their big priorities is definitely bringing back Malcolm Kuntz, and I hope so because I talked so much shit about how Malcolm Kuntz was going to be one of the stars of this defense last year, and then he doesn't even get to play. Kind of sucks. Um, which one did I just put up? The fuck, the duck, the duck. Oh yeah, I seen Brady cook my Razorbacks. Don't remind me. But yeah, I watched a couple of Brady Cooks games because after the last game, that's a rivalry game for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Is Brady Cook in Missouri? So yeah, I seen the game. He's a he's a playmaker, bro. He had an off year though too, but the whole team did. They were in the top 25. Then they were out of it. Then they won a couple. I don't know if it was injuries, coaching. I don't know what it was, but that whole team was off and on. Rebel, the rating before last year, drafted and reached on first, second. What? The Raiders before last year's draft. Oh, reached on the first and second pick in the last 5 years. It's a reach for some people, right? I think Tyree Wilson was nothing against Tyree Wilson, but if you look at the people that was drafted after him, and they've only said two, Bijan Robinson and Mr. Carter. I mean, just those two picks alone are enough to yeah, yeah, to leave that make you want to throw up in your mouth. But there was picks even after that in the first round. There was even picks in the second round that I thought have played way better than what Tyree Wilson has. So, I seen a thing on Twitter asking was Tyree Wilson a bust? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to go that far. I think he was brought in from a different regime with a different plan. Hurt, never really got to reach his potential. Did we pay way too much? Yes, because whatever he's making, 4, 5, 6, 7 mil, whatever it is for the seventh overall pick, is way too much. He's never, never, never gonna get that back. So yeah, we've reached a lot. I think this is I don't see Spytag reaching. I went back and looked at the drafts everywhere he's been. I don't know how much part he had in Denver Broncos in their draft. I don't know. I don't know how much say you have an assistant in Tampa Bay. Who knows? Only he knows, right? And the people that know him. So I don't know how much influence he had on any of these picks. It's really hard to say. But if you look at the players that they drafted and the teams that he was with, Denver Broncos, Tampa Bay, they've had pretty damn good drafts. And he said himself, he doesn't go with best player available. You know, he's not in that take position of need. So I don't know what their draft strategy is. I'm definitely waiting to find out. But as far as the combine, man, I can't. I'm here for every day. Every day. Nick is 6'3", 227, 4.3 speed from South Carolina. Excellent tackler, covers safety. South Carolina. What's his name? Oh, I'll take that back. I digress. I think I have watched some tape on him. I didn't know he was out of South Carolina. Rubber, look at the quarterback. Oh, I already did that. He's a good passer, good runner, great leader. You know, it depends on where we go. It depends on where we go because if we decide to go quarterback in free agency, which it's kind of seeming that way, right? Tom Brady meeting with, a guy that has just been given permission to go talk to other teams. It's a state away, Las Vegas to California. You don't have to go very far. You could leave your family in Vegas because you could just fly in on, you know, whatever, fly out on Monday, fly home, Sunday. You get Victory Mondays. No, there probably won't be many of those, but you can fly back and forth, right? It's not very far. It's the closest. Am I wanting to pay him 50 mil? I talked about it yesterday. I'm not gonna keep saying it. So, um, what round would I pick Brady Cook? I haven't really evaluated his tape. That's not one of the quarterbacks I really looked at because everybody said there's only two in the first round and maybe three, four in the other two rounds. I totally disagree on that. But I've seen some film, but not enough to, sit back and watch his footwork and his timing and pocket presence and his accuracy and does he lead receivers? Is he, holding the ball way too long, waiting for receivers to get open? All that blah 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 nonsense. Damn it. Let's go. How the fuck do we get down by one? Excuse my language. So, um, from what I seen in the Arkansas game, damn, fourth round. But I mean, he could go because there are so many teams that need quarterbacks, that need backups. The way the quarterback situation goes every single year, teams getting, quarterbacks getting hurt, backups getting hurt. So it's Mark Carbone. What's good? What's good? It's a big need for a lot of teams. Even if you don't need a starting quarterback, it's still smart to draft a guy, somewhere in the third, fourth round. If you have a solid team and you just came from the Super Bowl, maybe you don't need to draft. Maybe you can get a guy in a second because it's always have. I mean, it never hurts to have a guy sit 2, 3, 4 years behind a solid, decent quarterback. So if you have a damn good starting quarterback, you know, damn it, this game keeps distracting me. Sorry. If you have a damn good quarterback, I was going to say that, but like Lamar Jackson or you know a franchise quarterback like a Joe Burrow, and it's to me it just makes sense to bring in a quarterback now. If he's a franchise guy in the first year or two, then you probably don't want to bring in one. But after he's been in the league for 7, 8 years, you might want to start drafting a quarterback every year or drafting one high to let him develop. And I think a lot of teams fail to do that. So it just depends on, that scenario. There could be a team that says, damn, this kid could, if he had a little bit more reps or if he played for a better team or, you know, could be that guy or could develop into that guy with the right quarterback coach and the right staff and the right organization. That's always a big thing. Um so I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to be drafted. I don't think he's going to be a UDFA. I think he falls into that category somewhere of Jordan Travis last year. Um, what's the other kid that got drafted to the Saints? I think he's somewhere in there. Rebel, what's up? Just join the show. Your thoughts, possibility on getting Stafford, no more than a second round pick, hopefully. Yeah, man, we talked about it a little bit yesterday and a little bit earlier. Um, it sounds like if the stories are true, which I I, I don't believe they are. If they really are true, it sounds like Tom Brady's going to the mountaintop, literally to to try to bring in Stafford. So if they have some kind of friendship, which I don't know, maybe these guys are buddies, maybe they've hung out before, maybe they've went on vacations before in the off season, maybe this is a first time thing, I don't know, but at 37, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions or 11 interceptions, whatever he had, 20 something touchdowns. Um, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up a first. I'm not. I don't even think I'd give up a second at $50 million if they pay half of his salary or part of his salary or most of his salary. I would think about a third since we have two. But I mean, damn. Even though this draft ain't great, we need running backs bad. And if we don't draft running backs in the third round or in the second, which we only have one second round pick, and if we want the top running backs in this draft, you have to take one in the second. If you want, that maybe B or C tier or second or third tier running back, then you definitely have to take them in the third because by the fourth, you're getting, those guys that are hit or miss. But if you want those guys that can definitely be, that franchise guy that can carry a team on his back 25, 30 times a game or whatever it be, then I believe in this draft, even with the 25, 30, 35 running backs in this draft, that you have to draft high. You have to take one of those top guys. So I'm not giving up probably a third. I would probably do something crazy and be like, man, I'd give you a sixth round and maybe a fourth next year or, something stupid just because we have to pay his money. And if somebody wants to give him more, then give him more. But like I said, at 37 years old, I think if you look at his stats and we broke it down, not last night, but 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, I don't know, one of the nights this week. Um, yo, shout out, man, for the appreciate you. Let me pull this up. Shout out for the super chat, man. I appreciate you, Mark Carbone in the building. Congrats on getting monetized. Keep up the great work, man. I appreciate you. It means the world to me. Helps me get this channel up and going. Try to change some things around here, especially like this lighting. Just kidding. Some better glasses. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I appreciate you, my brother. Definitely means a lot. Um, and I forgot what the hell I was talking about again. I always do that. So, Matthew Stafford. So, I mean, yeah, people are saying a second and a third. I'm not in on all of that. I'm not in on that. I think if you want to know my honest opinion, I believe it's a smokescreen. I don't think they're trading Matthew Stafford. I don't think they want to let him go. If you do, I mean, it there's got to be something we don't know. That's all I'm saying. There's something we don't know. Um, I'm not gonna speculate and say some crazy shit like I just was about to say. Might not have a job. I might not be alive. No, I'm just kidding. But there could be some crazy shit going on behind the scenes we don't know about. But other than that, I just don't see a situation where you take a Matthew Stafford, who you traded for, and comes in and takes you to a Super Bowl in his very first year in your organization, and then you let guys walk. Of course, you win a Super Bowl. It always happens. You let guys go. You don't bring in the same caliber guys in place of him. He still puts up the same number. Okay, not the same numbers because he threw for like 41 touchdowns and 11 interceptions 19, something crazy, some crazy shit. But 41 or 40 plus touchdowns and I think over 10 or 15 interceptions. And then the most every year after that, it's been like 25-8, 22-6. I think this last year was 20-8. The year before that, or this year, where it's 20-8 or something. Last year, it was a little bit less, 25 or something. So I don't know the exact numbers, but it seemed to, after the elbow injury, after he got hurt and missed a little bit of time, that the numbers started declining a little bit and going down. And man, the Raiders have just we've taken a chance on so many quarterbacks in this franchise. And again, my whole life I've been a Raiders fan, so I've seen all of them from Schrader to Hostetler to uh, you know, good lord, just everybody you could think of. Like I've seen us trade for so many quarterbacks that we couldn't afford in their prime. Because let's face it, we didn't have the money to afford a lot of people. When Al Davis was around, this franchise was always struggling, and we struggled to bring in guys, especially after we won the Super Bowl. So, um, I'm tired of hiring guys at the end of their career, hoping that they're gonna be the next Rich Gannon or Jim Plunkett. You're not catching lightning in a bottle three times, man. We caught lightning in a bottle once. We got what, two Super Bowls out of it, and Plunkett. We got lucky again in Gannon. We had 3 good years. We should have got a Super Bowl out of it. We got screwed out of that Super Bowl. Um, yes, baby, up by 3. Let's go. Oh, sorry. Um, we got jacked out of that Super Bowl. Should have an asterisk next to it. So, man, I just I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't be much. It wouldn't be much for me. I'd be like, here's the deal. I'll give you a third round next year. I wouldn't even want to do that, because if we're not as good as we're supposed to be and we're not in win now mode with Matthew Stafford, then we have a quarterback that's not the quarterback we thought he was going to be, like a Gardner Minshew. And I don't know how anybody in Raider Nation, and this might be a hot take, so hit the record button. But I'm just kidding. I don't know how anybody can call themselves a Raider fan or say they're a Raider fan and not be scared to death. And I'm not scared of shit, but this, when it comes to Raiders hiring the wrong people, that's the only thing I have fear of. Because I just love this franchise, bro. I'm just a diehard Raider fan, but how could you not fear the fact that we missed on Jimmy G and paid him a fortune? Didn't work out. We missed badly on Gardner Minshew. Okay, it wasn't a fortune, but it was $25 million, 15 guaranteed. We paid him $1 million for every interception he threw last year. Literally. Here, you threw an interception, here's $1 million. You threw an interception, here's $1 million. Damn, we gonna pay him enough. We gonna pay them the rest of the contract and keep him for this year, so we can pay him, to make up for the fumbles he had last year. Also, I'm out on these guys. Like, there's a guy in the building. He's shown he can win games. He's 6-1 when you give him when the Raiders rush for over 100 yards. He should be 7-0 when the Raiders rush for over 100 yards. But somehow there was a botched snap against Kansas City this year, and we lost that game. Other than that, he would be 7-0 when the Raiders run for 100 yards with him starting. So we have a dude in the building that can win. I'm not paying $50 million for a if. It's a big swinging for the fences. Yes, he won a Super Bowl, one in his whole entire career. I mean, he had crazy, crazy good numbers in Detroit, way better than he's had since he was a Ram, and didn't win nothing. So, I mean, I wouldn't. The same thing with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not in on that. Now, maybe if he goes on the cheap because the Rams released him. I don't know if they, they're obviously still probably paying his salary, which I don't know what his salary contract is. So if they're paying part of it, I mean, how do you say no to a cheap Aaron Rodgers? But you don't guarantee him the starting job. I'd be like, bro, you're gonna have to show me that you're still better than the quarterbacks we're bringing in. And how do you tell Aaron Rodgers, like, dude, it's gonna be a Hall of Famer, that you got to come in on my team and prove yourself? Like, that's hard to do, in my opinion. Rick, my guy, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you in the building. Um, Hopefully the Rams take a third. I just don't. I don't want Stafford. I really don't. I don't. I like Matthew Stafford. I wanted Matthew Stafford when he was in Detroit to be a Raider over Derek Carr. I always thought he was better than Derek Carr. But now that I look at his numbers compared to Derek Carr, he's never been better than Derek Carr, really. If stats, don't lie. Like, Derek Carr has had a better career over the, you know, what is it, 4 seasons less that he's played, 5, 6 seasons less. Number wise, the only thing different is rushing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford has a couple more, so. But yeah, I'm just not in on trading for those dudes no more. It's never worked out. Carson Palmer didn't work out very good. Hostetler won a Super Bowl because Phil Simms got hurt. He had to take over, wins the Super Bowl. Al Davis was like, let's throw him all the bags he wants. Yeah, comes over. I mean, he played decent. I'm not going to lie. We didn't have much of a team around him because we probably paid him way too much at that time. So, I mean, no, I think this coaching staff, I take it back. I know this coaching staff can win with pretty much whatever quarterback they have. They drafted one, they went and paid for one. They had one in the building they used as a bridge quarterback until they got their guys. I think Pete Carroll could win with pretty much any quarterback. He's going to be a defensive team and run the ball. He constantly talks about running the ball, what it means to run the ball, how important it is to run the ball to protect your quarterback, to put your quarterback in easy situations so he can succeed. I mean, I don't know how many people overlooked that, or I guess it just went in one year out the other, because I keep seeing many people type shit that he did not say. They're like, "Oh, he said, they're going to go best player available and blah blah." They never said that. He said he doesn't go best player available because it puts them in bad situations and scenarios, and you overdraft or underdraft. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. Oh, I'll just ramble on forever. Where was I? At the third, I would love Mac back, but the right price. We have to, if we have to move on from Derek Carr, we have to move on from Khalil Mack. Now, let's just, once a Raider, always a Raider. If they retire Raiders, great. Mack probably won't. He wasn't happy with John Gruden. He wasn't happy that he got traded. He wanted to be a Raider. He wasn't happy at all that he had to go to the Bears. You've seen his worst, shit. His worst years were the Chicago Bears. So, I mean, I don't think Khalil Mack wants to come back to the Raiders. Now, maybe after he retires, they can mend and fix everything. Maybe they already have. I don't know, but I just don't see that being a situation. You, you know, no, I don't see it. I don't see it. I could be wrong. Do I think he would fit? I mean, that's come on, that's stupid. Like, him and Mad Max would be absolutely crazy together. Do I see it happening? No. Agreed. Mac, Wilkins, Butler, Crosby would be legit. I think it would be legit. But didn't Khalil Mack have a down year last year? Wasn't he coming off like one of his worst years, or did he still have a damn good year? I don't watch him because he's a lightning bolt, but definitely if we get Stafford and draft Graham would be amazing. I mean, I know you can never have too many defensive linemen. You got to have rotation. But if you have Caleb on Chase, not Caleb on Chase, and if you have Jonah Lalu, who I don't see going nowhere, I believe is staying on the team. You know, I don't know about Matthew Butler, but you have Christian Wilkins coming back. He's going to be on the field as much as possible. We already seen that, in the first two games or whatever he played last year. I don't see him coming off the field. I see him being an every down guy. Why pay, why pay $6 million for Adam Butler or more to bring in a Mason Graham that you're picking in the first round that you're still going to have to pay, 5-6 million dollars to first round money, right? Is somewhere up there. So it, don't bring back Adam Butler if you're planning on, going getting one of these guys like a Mason Graham. In my opinion, we have too many needs at other positions to spend, you know, to spend ravishly on positions that's not a big position of need. I think we could do pretty damn well with Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, um, Jonah Lalu, Caleb Von Chasen, Matthew Butler if they decide to keep him, but I just don't see him making the roster this year. We still have Tyree Wilson and then bring back Malcolm Kuntz. Like that was the D line we were supposed to have last year, and I kind of want to see us rock with that same defensive line. We're adding two pieces and Jonah Lalu and Caleb Von Chasen, which I think just make it even nastier. And I don't think there's room for any more snaps on this defensive line, to be honest with you. Again, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think with those, what I named six guys, especially if Tyree Wilson continues, the small upward trajectory that he did this year. Because I mean, come on, he had his best year this year, right? Especially pressure wise, when Max Crosby went out, he was, not constantly in the backfield. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 7 seconds up by two. Damn it. We need to resign Moreg. I don't know if we're resigning Moreg. I think I want him to come back. I want to keep all the homegrown talent. If you were drafted by the Raiders, that should be a number one priority, unless he's Tyree Wilson. And nothing against Tyree Wilson. I'm just saying a first round pick making $5-6 million a season, like to do absolutely uh to do less than a fourth round pick or a fifth round pick in a season. I, I don't. I just you can't do that, right? You can't do shit like that. So hopefully, hopefully they pay him, but hopefully he takes a friendly deal because he wants to be a Raider and he wants to be a Raider for life. If not, then it's going to be rough. And another big hopefully is if what do teams think about Trayvon? He was, I think second. Shit, he was like in the top four and top five in tackles this year. I believe he was the top tackle in safety. He played more snaps than any safety, I do believe, in the NFL this year and last year. Teams are going to value the shit out of that, and that dude's going to get his bag. Now, how much of a bag is he going to get? Is he going to get that 15-16 million dollars, 43, whatever they said, $43 million or $48 million for 3 years? To me, that's wild. That's crazy ass numbers, bro. Crazy numbers. But yes, I would love to have him back. The cap keeps going up. If we could bring him in for, I mean, come on, the man made $2 million last year. And yes, you had a damn good year. Yes, you were at the top on almost every category. So you earned your money, and teams are going to value that. But we do have a chance to match, I do believe, whatever offer they get. But is that offer going to be too high? We shall wait and see. Um, on Matthew Stafford, here we go. I think I just showed these last. Matthew Stafford, he ain't much different than Derek Carr. Stafford in 2022 to 2024, he had 40 and 49. What? Okay, I don't know what 40. I know it's not 40 to 49 touchdowns and interceptions. Let me get to it. 870. Oh, I got you. 40 for Matthew Stafford, 49 for Derek Carr. 872 to 1341. Completion ratio is 65. 9,814 yards, touchdowns, 54 interceptions, 27. QB 64 for Carr, 2024. 42 for 49. 869 completions out of 1,329 attempts. 65.3. 9,545 yards, 64 touchdowns, 27 interceptions. Yeah, so like Carr's numbers are better, and like I said, in a less time. If you look at their career stats, I mean, it's like 4 or 5 years difference. Matthew Stafford played more than Carr, but the numbers and the touchdown to interception ratio is not that. Fuck no to 50 million in draft capital for Stafford, right? Yeah, yeah. Like I said, if they'll take a fourth and maybe or take our sixth and maybe a fourth next year or a fifth next year, depending on his performance throughout the season, type shit, then yeah, I'm down for that. Mark Carbone, man, I appreciate you with the 199. And my man says, Rebel, Stafford, Darnold, Fields in free agency. No, no, and no. How about that? No. Honestly, though. Honestly. Honestly. Oh, let's go, my boy. Up by 4 with 7 seconds left in overtime. We are about, well, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, but hopefully, hopefully. No, here's my thing though. Matthew Stafford, we just put up the numbers. You might have to, might take a little bit of time to figure them out because some of them are a little bunched together. But if you put the two together and just look at it, the numbers aren't different from Derek Carr. And I heard Derek Carr staying with the Saints, so he's not coming home. So, get that talk out of here. But Stafford is 45 $50 million. He don't want nothing less. He thinks that's what he's worth. And if you look at the average rate around the NFL, he's probably is worth that. So I mean, there's a lot of guys getting 50 plus a year that aren't Matthew Stafford caliber guys. Sam Darnold, there's no way in hell I'm paying $45 million for a guy that had one good year in 7 seasons, 6 seasons, whatever it is. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not worth it. Justin Fields, 6.2 million. He's probably gonna want, 6 to 8. Somebody's probably gonna offer him 10. If that's the case, I'm not going that high. It depends on what kind of system Chip Kelly wants to run. If you want a guy that, if we want to be the Philadelphia Eagles, then yeah, bring in Justin Fields. I'm not mad at that. I think he can dink and dunk, throw 5, 10, 5, 10, 15 yard passes. Um, if the guy's open, take a shot downfield. It's not going to be very accurate, but he has a strong arm. He's, the most athletic, prob- probably the most athletic quarterback in the NFL. Yes, over Lamar. Um, but damn, I just I don't see spending the money on any one of these quarterbacks. I would probably go lesser. I talked about it yesterday. I'd probably bring in a Carson Wentz who took his team to the Super Bowl before he got hurt, and somebody else won the Super Bowl for him. 6'5", 237 pounds. He's going to be a backup. You don't have to worry about, you know, just giving the guy the job because he's overpaid. He's making the same as Aiden O'Connell. He's making the same as the rookie, whoever we decide to draft. Let him battle it out. He also played in Sean McVay's system with the Rams. Was a damn good backup for Stafford there. Uh, he also just sat behind, Patrick Mahomes. So I would go cheap, bro. And, you know, I believe these coaches, they know what they're doing. If you read into what they said in all the press conferences, they said they're going to explore every avenue to find the best quarterback. But then in the very next sentence, they say that best quarterback does not have to have the strongest arm, run the fastest, been drafted the highest. He just has to know football, constantly, be in the film room, studying film, know the system, not turn the ball over. That's what Tom Brady's looking for. It's funny that's what Spytek's looking for, and it's even more funny that that's what Pete Carroll's looking for. So all those guys are on the same page. I just don't see him going crazy in free agency. I don't see it happening. I see if they do bring in a guy, it's going to be like a Zach Wilson, probably something crazy like that. I just don't see him going and getting their guy. I could be wrong. Now, again, I was a big advocate for bringing in Justin Fields last year, but after watching him this year, because last year I didn't watch him with the Bears. I didn't give a shit about Justin Fields. The only game I seen was none because he didn't play against us. It was I was thinking they played against us last year, but it was Tyson Badgett, so it wasn't him. So I didn't see Justin Fields play last year, and I didn't realize really how horrible he was when it come to throwing guys open. When it come to pre-snap read, like for as athletic and as big as fast as he is, he shouldn't take the sacks he does. And maybe it's bad development, the bad coaching that he was in. He did get drafted, to a not the greatest team, so I don't know. He's been in the league a long time. He doesn't seem to get any better on his deep ball accuracy. Um, he seems like he holds the ball way too long and waits for his receivers to get open because he doesn't trust his arm, to throw into those tight windows or um, to lead the receiver open, throw the receiver open. He doesn't have that anticipation or accuracy. So I don't see that being the guy. I see Aiden O'Connell being way better when it comes to passing, throwing, reading defenses, chemistry with the team that he already has. Just makes more sense. But drafting a quarterback, yes, we definitely have to. Is it going to be in the first round? I hate to break everybody's heart, but I just don't see it being in the first round this year. I see it being probably a Will Howard in the third. And if it's not him, hopefully they take a chance on Riley Leonard. Tyree Wilson is the best when not blocked. When does that happen? It's the NFL, bro. You're always blocked. That's good shit. Um, would you rather have Morrig or Javon Holland? As for Wilson, he has improved every year since entering the league with the worst foot injury in football. He has had some numbers as Kuntz in 2 years. I He don't have the He might have the same numbers and stats, but I guarantee you his PFF grade and pressures is not the same. I think he got less time than what Tyree is going to get in because Malcolm, because not Malcolm, uh, Max Crosby wasn't hurt. We also had Yannick in there, and then when we didn't have Yannick, we had homeboy tripping off bath salt and shit. So, uh, but yeah, I'm not hating on Tyree. Like the foot injury was bad, but we should have never drafted him. There's no excuse. There's foot injury or no foot injury. He was not a seventh overall pick in the NFL draft. And this year, last year, next year, the year before, even his time in the NFL, if he was to go back to college and they drafted him again, he wouldn't be a first round pick. Like the dude is not a first round pick. Now, his strength and his size, they're nice attributes, but he has horrible technique. His hands aren't as strong as they should be. Like when that dude, hits you in your chest, you should feel it. It's just seems like it's a weak effort to me. His first step has improved, but it's still not nothing to write home about. I'm still not impressed for a seventh overall pick. I'm not impressed. I will never be impressed until he has at least ten sacks in a season. But if it takes him 4 or 5 years to be a guy that has 10 sacks in a season as a first round pick, that's a bust. I don't care. I mean, I don't care what I don't care what anybody thinks. So, my opinion, that's a bust, bro. You're drafted seventh overall in the NFL, no matter what team it's for. If it takes you 4 or 5 years before you reach 10 sacks in a season, come on, come on, man, come on, man, dang. Sam Darnold, wait, Stafford and Darnold will want 50 million per. Fields will only want 20 million. I heard Fields' projected shit was 6.4 million from Spotac or Spotac or whatever the hell this shit's called. 50 million plus seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. We only have 100 million. Wait, we only have 100 million. And yes, it's supposed to go up or has gone up or whatever. But say we have 120 million. That's still almost half. That's 45%. 45% of our salary to a quarterback that you don't know if he's going to fit the scheme, if you don't know if he's going to fit the locker room, if you don't know if his, character or personality is going to mesh with the linemen or the running backs or the guys he's throwing the ball to. That's a lot of money for a hopefully it works. Shit, that's that's a lot of money. Um 50 mil. Did I read that? Oh, no. 50 mil plus draft picks does seem like a not. Darnold will probably get 40 mil and had better numbers, 35 touchdowns to 20 touchdowns to Stafford. Exactly. And, you can make a case the Rams had a better defense than Darnold had over there in Minnesota. Um, you can make a case they had a better run game. Receiver wise, I don't think so. Offensive line, kind of iffy. The 40 and 49 is the games they played in the season. Okay, got you. Freighter down yonder, how you been, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. It's been a minute. Melissa, what's good? What's good? Appreciate you pulling up. Jonah, what's good? Damn, how many people are in here I didn't get to? Tiffany, what's good? Candy's driving, she's listening. Oh, appreciate you. But yeah, so You know, what's this other one say? Um, Tyree Wilson can't touch Kuntz in strip sacks. No, our pressures are, tackles for a loss. None of that. Just to the double team that he requires. Malcolm Kuntz, or not Malcolm Kuntz, Max Crosby had his best season in the NFL. Wasn't it last year? Wasn't that his highest sack total, his most pressures, the most amount of snaps he's ever played? All that shit was last year. Was because of Malcolm Kuntz. Now, you could say it wasn't. You could say I'm lying. Whatever. Malcolm Kuntz was a huge, huge reason, if not the biggest reason, that Max Crosby got to roam free and eat. Now, I didn't say all game, every game, but there was a lot of times where Malcolm Kuntz was just working the shit out of that right tackle or left tackle, and they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't stop him, so they had to double team him, and they had to start chipping Malcolm Kuntz. There was a lot of games where Kuntz was double teamed. He was a, a couple times like they're double team him. He's beating the double team, and they're having to bring a back over. The man was a problem. He was a problem. He caused havoc, and he caused a lot of it. And you can't put a price tag on that. Even our own coaches, new coach and GM said you can't let good young talent leave the building. You just can't. And especially when it comes to defensive ends. You can't let, defensive ends with the market that we have now walk. Because dude, Kuntz is gonna go get a bag somewhere else and he's gonna be on a Super Bowl team somewhere. That dude is special. He had a lot of time to sit and sit and sit and learn the system. He's in the same system. You bring him back with the same coaches, the same defensive line coach. That dude is going to go the hell off like he should have last year before he got hurt. They just need to pay him. Wilson had 33 and 4, uh, 33 games, 4 starts, 2 forced fumbles, 8 sacks, 56 tackles, 8 tackles for a loss. In 2 years, Coops had 39, 11 starts, 3 forced fumbles, 10 sacks, 55, 10 tackles for a loss, 19 quarterback hits in 3 years. Facts there. Kuntz didn't have a foot injury. Wilson had become. I mean, I'll agree with that to a point. Yes, the numbers are very, very, very close. But most of those numbers, almost all of those numbers for Malcolm Kuntz came when Antonio Pierce took over. He was on a Dick Daniels team where our defense was horrible under Patrick Graham. So I'm going to take that into accountability. You can say if he didn't have the foot injury, it would be way better. But if we had a better coaching staff and Malcolm Kuntz got to play, his numbers would be 10 times better than that. That's just my opinion. So, I'm not saying you're wrong. I agree with you. Into the league, facts are facts. What I miss on that? Uh, got you. Rams have had top 10 O line, D line, and have Cup, Puka, a run game, and Sean McVay as head coach. Exactly. Exactly. And, the Rams, all this shit, all this talk, the Rams could say what they want to say. Um, all these teams can say what they want to say. But the fact of the matter is, and I got distracted earlier, I was talking about it, is if you're the Rams, you won your division. You started out 1-4. Your quarterback was a big part of that. Now, could he been a bigger part of that? Could they have went farther in the playoffs? Yes. Could he have turned the ball over less times? Yes. Could he have fumbled it less times? Yes. But the team struggled. So as a whole, until they got Jared Verse going on defense. Good lord, that kid was a dog. So sorry, I had to answer that text. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. We shall see. But I know when it comes to technique, when it comes to bend, when it comes to get off, pause if necessary, Malcolm Kuntz on tape, dude, that shit is elite, bro. Like he is he is super fast. He's like Gumby out there, and he was working the shit. That dude was on fire, bro. He was working the hell out of tackles out there and just blowing by guys on the inside. You know, the speed of his SWAT, his chop, all that shit. Like the dude is special. I mean, I could be wrong. He could be a bust, but I would take my chances. Kuntz best year was three. Tyree Wilson has best was last year. He was entering his third year, 2025. Wilson had a better start NFL career compared to Kuntz, despite the foot injury. Yeah, we'll see. Kuntz didn't do nothing in 2022. He had 11. What? He had 11 starts in 2023 and had 8 sacks, 43 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss. What do you mean didn't do nothing? In 11 starts, bro, had 8 tackles, 43 tackles, or 8 sacks, 43 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss. And the whole coaching thing applies to Wilson too. Like, I mean, bro, that's damn good numbers. That's damn good numbers. Wilson ain't had that in his third year. And I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna wait and see mode with Wilson this year. See how breakout simulator Coons. I hope he does, bro. Like I want him to succeed more than anybody, bro. I mean, just as bad as everybody. I'm not gonna say more than anybody because I ain't special. Um, just as bad as everybody does, dude. If Malcolm Kuntz succeeds, I mean, if Tyree Wilson succeeds, that makes his defensive line even nastier, even closer to that, Philadelphia style stomp that ass, put pressure on the quarterback. So look, I want him to succeed. I hope he has a breakout year. I hope this is the best year ever. I hope we bring back, Caleb on chasing and put more pressure on that guy. Um, I wouldn't even be mad at letting Adam Butler go and putting him at defensive, putting at D tackle and see what he's got. I wouldn't be mad at that either at this point. Also, Kuntz is a speed rusher where Wilson is a power. Oh, I know that's what I'm saying, but his speed and get off is just nasty, bro. Like, I just feel like Tyree Wilson has too much work to do still, and he shouldn't, right? Listen, here's my point. Jonah Lalu was cut. Caleb Von Chasen was cut. Both of these guys were let go. One was drafted in the first round, and Caleb Von Chasen couldn't fit in with two other teams, comes to the Raiders and picks it up like that, bro. Dude is killing it. He's in the backfield every play. He's stopping the run. He's tipping balls. He's getting interceptions. Pause necessary if you're tipping balls. Um, that's right away. Kuntz, I thought, showed those flashes when he was in there. Tyree Wilson never showed any flashes the first year, barely any, until the injuries last year when he got to start and got more play time. So I'm still gonna wait, but I really do hope he has a Malcolm Kuntz type year. I would totally love that shit. Wilson ranked 70th in the PFF grade, 66 last year. His pass rush grade was 57. ranked 130, 212 for a defensive end. See, that's what I'm saying. The pressures, the tackles, all that shit, they add up, bro. And Kuntz had 0 sacks, 9 tackles, and 17 games with 0 starts. That's not very good. It was, you know what I mean? Second year. All right. Last one that I got to get off here. I've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. I appreciate everybody pulling up, rocking with me. Y'all could be anywhere else, but you chose to be rocking it with your favorite rebel. Tyree Wilson is putting up Cowboy. What the hell? I ain't showing. Right. Tyree Wilson is putting up Cowboys. Was putting Cowboys O line on their ass and ran it down H back 30 yards away. I know, bro. He had flashes. I didn't say didn't have any. He's had some. I've seen plays where he's just dominated guards, centers, tackles. They moved him around the offensive line. I think he does a lot better when he can use his strength inside. That's just my opinion. He's never going to be a Malcolm Kuntz on the outside. It's not even going to be close. When you only have one or two moves, you're not going to beat anybody with your strength in the NFL consistently. Guys already know what you're going to do. Now you might get lucky, catch them off balance, sometimes and get lucky with that shit, but it's not going to work consistently. You got to have an arsenal in your bag, bro. Like, and it's just taking a long time for that dude to put it together. But man, I hope he does. Um, Wilson was drafted seventh pick overall. Kuntz was a third round pick. Wasn't he drafted in? I thought Kuntz was a fifth round pick. Wasn't Malcolm drafted in a fifth? But anyways, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. Again, I forgot to put up the link if you want to become a member of the Raider Unleashed family. You have to go to the channel because I didn't put the link up again tonight. And again, much love. I appreciate the super chat, Mr. Carbone. You are the man. But again, I did not hear any beeping sound and I didn't see anything pop up on the screen. So can somebody tell me on y'all side if you was in the chat when a super chat was up, did you hear any noise? Because this shit, man, I messed with it today. I thought it was gonna work. Or I wouldn't have came on here. That's really irritating the shit out of me. Because people, donate their hard earned money and try to help out. And it should do something besides not make a noise or a sound or shit. I didn't even see the shit last night, so I apologize. Thank you more than ever for the support. And I will get my shit together and it'll be better when somebody super chats me for sure. But like, subscribe, hit the follow button. Think about becoming a member. I'm working on the perks. I'm getting there, man. Just bear with me. Bear with me. Like Tyree Wilson, I take time. I take time. Bro, I take time. Uh, someone has picked don't mean anything. Max was a fourth rounder. 31 other teams missed on him. Wilson was inside and Chasen was outside. They put him outside though. They put him outside when Crosby was hurt. I thought he played pretty well outside. And they moved, they stunned it a lot with Chasen too. They moved him all over. And it does where it does matter where you're drafted, bro. If you're, you know. Hold on, I gotta take these missiles. Yeah, I don't have any tolls. What the fuck, lane tolls? What are you talking about? But To me, I think it matters if you're drafted first overall and your numbers aren't the same as a fourth round guy, then you got to go, bro. Like a first round pick should not have the same numbers as a fourth rounder. Adam Butler and Wilson, we're opening things up for Chase on. I've seen it the other way around. I seen that dude chasing guys sideline to sideline to sideline out there on the hashes, running guys down, chasing down running backs, destroying tackles, starting to get double teamed. Tipping a lot of balls, intercepting. That's more than we've got from our defensive ends for a long time. Chasing was, I would love to see that dude come back and see him get a full year. I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I'd be mad if they let Malcolm Coons go because I just don't think he got a fair shot coming off the injury. It was kind of shitty. And if we go that motto, once a Raider, always a Raider. If the price is something that we can match, if he does get crazy offers, or it's a one year prove it deal, I think he should be back. But if they do move on from him and don't keep Chase on to start on the other side of him this year to see what he's got, that's gonna be wild, bro. Gonna be wild. Draft pick numbers, somewhat prediction, evaluated guess. I get it. Uh, Wilson, he has Coos numbers in second year with less stats than Coons in 3 years or more stats. Yeah, but then you just say he's playing on the inside and not the outside. That's a big difference. A big, big difference. You're on the island one on one. On the inside, a lot of times you're getting double team. And like I said, I think Wilson plays better on the inside. That's his strength. But have a good night. Appreciate you. One of these days you got to come on the channel so you ain't got to type so much. Pull up. Let me know when you're available. We'll talk Raider ball. But for the 7 of y'all in here, much love. As always, I appreciate the shit out of y'all. Raiders just win now, baby. Peace.